I think her Photoshop image was a complete mistake on her part. She knew she edited it. She got caught after it came out, and they caught her in it. Then she sent out a statement saying she was practicing with editing, and I think that was just a complete lie.
Do you think there was any reason behind manipulating that image?
I mean, that's something for her to answer, really. Everyone tries to represent with social media something different than what their real life is. So I'm sure there are reasons. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure she had reasons.
Kensington Palace had, it's believed, released that image on Mothering Sunday to try to stop some of the conspiracy theories that have been abound since Kate had her abdominal surgery back in January. Do you think the furore around the image has helped stop those conspiracy theories, or do you think it's just made things a whole lot worse?
I think it's made it worse. Why would you edit a picture or change a picture or make it different than what it really is if there's not something you're hiding or something you're trying to not portray? But ultimately, I think over time people will forget, as most people do.
What did you make of the image yesterday that was released by Kensington Palace?
Oh, and initially I thought that it was a nice photo, but I thought that seemed there's something odd about it.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird. Like, you could tell that there was something off with it. Like, her hands just looked not in the right position.
But not enough that we were thinking, oh, we need to examine this further. We just thought it was surprising they released a photo when she's recovering and all that.
Yeah.
So then what made you think, oh, hold on, how did you realise actually the story had gotten a bit bigger?
I saw it on my phone this morning. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah, someone had pointed it out, and I was looking at it, and I was like, yeah, actually that does look a little weird. Some of the spots, like where her hands are joining, like Charlotte's side, is like it looks like her arm has been like phased out. It just looks really not real. It looks like someone has definitely like airbrushed or photoshopped it.
There has been a explanation today from the Princess of Wales who says she apologises for any of the confusion that's been caused because she sometimes edits her own photos. Do you believe that the Princess is editing her photos?
I don't think they would let her do that.
Oh, I think she's a photographer and she may adjust some things, but there's a difference between doing that, like subtly, and someone professionally trying to manipulate a photo and, maybe combine photos together. It takes some skill to do that, and I'm not sure that she's at that level, so I don't know if that's 100% an explanation for this.
And I don't know if they'd actually let her release that without having
why?
But because it's kind of, I mean, if you look at it, you can kind of it's kind of really easy to tell because everyone noticed it. Like, it didn't go very long without people being like, oh, there's something wrong with that.
What would be a reason why a photo would be manipulated?
I guess some people, if she did do it herself, some people don't like certain things about themselves. They might want to edit, like, oh, there's something wrong with my face, or some might just airbrush it. But
I
that
saw
just,
someone was
moved it.
speculating that perhaps the children weren't all smiling, so they combined the photos, individual photos of them. But I think they're old enough that would not be a good explanation for this. They can smile on command.
And they're trained to do that. That's kind of their thing.
The only other explanation would be, and I think this is what's causing the ruckus, is that perhaps she's not well, and that they released this photo in this way that's a combined photo because she appears well.
That is one of the things that's being said online, that the palace was actually trying to stop the conspiracy theories that have been abound since that abdominal surgery in January. Do you think releasing that image has stopped the conspiracies, or do you think it's made things worse?
I don't know. I think they release those types of photos often, on occasions. So I don't know that they're necessarily trying to pull one over on people. That's what I don't really think that's part of it.
I think they kind of tried to release something so it's like, because it was Mother's Day, so they wanted to make sure everyone was like, oh, she's fine. But then something slipped, and now everyone's like, okay, well, what if there's actually an issue here?
Yeah, it brings up questions that maybe they didn't intend, but...
I think that it's terrific that this has become widely spread in the public domain because AI is going to present many similar problems, and I don't suppose there was anything malicious about the image in this particular case, but I do think it's terribly important that the public becomes very aware of this sort of thing.
So do you believe the explanation that's being given by the palace now, that the Princess of Wales is editing her own photos from time to time?
Yes, I don't see why she wouldn't. She's a very good photographer by all accounts. I don't really follow the royal family that closely, but I gather she is pretty good at it.
What did you make yesterday when the story first broke? Obviously, the palace remained quiet for quite some time, only hearing from them today. Do you think that we could have heard faster from the palace to try and quell some of the furor around this story?
Well, to be honest, I don't really subscribe to the furore. I mean, I don't think it's really that big a deal that it was edited. It's a family picture. I don't really see what all the fuss is about. I do think what's much more interesting is the misuse of AI that can take place in many different ways. And if this is a wake-up call for better regulation and for better public awareness of what's being presented, then I think that that's a fantastic thing that it's happened, and the public needs to be much better aware as they read stories that what they read may not be quite true. And in this particular case, it's a low-risk thing that's happened.
And do you think that the photo agencies were right to remove those photos and to alert people to the fact that they had been manipulated?
Yes, I do. And I think that says something positive about as we move forward into more and more manipulation. And I hope that TV stations and radio will do the same with verbal things and with video, because those are also going to be doctorable.
They don't need to do things like that. Like, I just think it's like a bit, I don't know, unfortunate that they feel like they have to do things. Well, I suppose not that they feel like they have to, but to do things like that when, I don't know, they're a lovely family, and I don't think they need to be like photoshopping or like editing things, really.
Some analysts think that the reason Kensington Palace released that image yesterday was to stop the conspiracy theories that have been swirling around ever since Kate had her abdominal surgery in January.
Okay.
Do you think that releasing that photo, being photoshopped, has stopped the conspiracy theories or only made matters worse in terms of PR for the palace?
Probably made matters worse. Like, I don't think it were probably necessary or like that they needed to do it. I don't know why they probably felt like they needed to do it, but yeah, I feel like it'll probably like made things worse, which is, I don't know. I feel sorry for her about really, like, she probably don't need it like right now after like having surgery like that, does she?